Evening, everyone. It's 9:30. Um, Want to first off, wow, there's a load of new members after joining the 30-day challenge. So I just want to say hello and welcome, and thank you for joining. Now, obviously, a lot of you are still probably like wondering what the heck is this all about, and so on. So, what I would ask is if you take a moment to check the emails that uh, you would have received that has instructions on how this whole challenge has broken down or will break down for you. The whole thing, just to quickly recap, is the 30-day challenge to get you motivated enough to create a habit, and that's effectively my story. I did something for 30 days approximately, which was tracking my food, working out, and I did it because I wanted to do it rather than needing to do it. And there's a big difference between the two. My why was my reason for doing this, and I turned my motivation. Motivation fades after a while, so my motivation then turned into a habit, and that's what's kept me going. So I mean, here we are, 10 months on since I started. It's gone. The time has gone quickly. In fairness, the time is going to go regardless, whether you want to do something about it or not. The time is going to tick on. So, and speaking of which, I am aware of the time that it is just gone 9:30, and I don't want to go on for too long. But what I would ask you all to do, if you look back on some of the posts, you'll see that there's a welcome post where I tell people to go check out a YouTube video, which is the new member briefing. The new challenge members briefing. I'd like you to watch that. I know it's a long one. It's 38 minutes. I'm sorry, but it will fill in a lot of blanks for you, and it will save me repeating the same stuff over and over. I like to, as you've probably guessed, I just like to get down and dirty with what I need to do, and no point in me recycling the same stuff, because you're all going to hear me saying the same stuff over and over, and that's no good to anyone. So I want to talk today about supplements, because I've been getting quite a few PMs from people asking me, hey, what supplements do you take? What vitamins do you take? And how much protein do you take? And, I've got them right here beside me, so I'm going to go through them. But at the start, I would take them all the time. Okay, so I would take them regularly, particularly at this stage, for all of you that are just starting now. I'm not, again, please, I just want to address this. I'm not telling you to take supplements, okay? It's just what I did. I'm not a nutritional expert. I'm just a guy that's figured it out for myself. So I'm just giving you my story. And that's all I can talk from. So I started this whole process back in March by sticking to a number. That number was my basal metabolic rate, and that was a number that my body, that's the number of calories that my body consumes at rest. So my logic was, I know what I'll do. I'll eat that amount of calories for the day, and I'll work out, and my workout energy will chip away at the fat in my body. That was my reasoning why I went this approach. And for me, I think it worked. I've read it so many places that you can't lose weight unless you're doing a calorie deficit. And others will argue differently. Cool, everyone has their own experience. So for me, it was I had to do a calorie deficit, and the workout was more for shape, but also to burn extra calories in the form of or burn extra fat from my body. So I started looking at my macros, and these are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So my food combined of those three macros in certain percentages. 40% of my calories were protein, 35% of my calories were carbohydrates, and 25% of my, obviously, calories was fat. So my meals had to be comprised, or as close as I could get to it. Sorry, that's my dog. You all right, man? I tried to get my calories as close to that number, that makeup as possible. So there were times when I felt I should take a supplement or a protein powder. So I'm going to show you what I take. Now, I'll be honest with you and say to you that I don't take it as much anymore. I don't know why. I don't want to say I don't need to take it anymore, but again, this is my body. I'll run it how I want to, but I don't take it as much anymore. Now, if I had a particularly tough workout that was quite heavy and I really went for it, then I would probably be more likely than not to take a bedtime protein. So I'm going to take my protein sources first and talk about them. So the first one, a lot of you will have a pre or post workout protein. Okay, so I don't. My protein comes from my first meal, which is typically a Sky yogurt or a high protein yogurt, banana, walnuts. You've heard the story. I've said it 100 times. But if I'm taking whey protein, this is what I take. Optimum Nutrition. Now this stuff is expensive. Like this can cost upwards of 60, 65 euro. So if you shop around, you'll get it slightly cheaper. Discount supplements do price matching, which is pretty good. So I've got my stuff from them before. But I think I got this last batch from Amazon. Okay, so this flavor is, what flavor is this one? Caramel toffee fudges. Actually, yeah, this is lovely. Let's have a sniff. Oh yeah, it comes with a little spoon, a little scoop. And obviously the powder in it. So for me, I'm on 148 grams of carbs a day, protein a day. So what I look for, if you look here, one scoop will give me 24 grams. So if I really wanted to get say it was coming towards the end of the night and I was far away from my protein count as possible, I could have a Sky yogurt and mix in a spoon of this stuff with it. So that would be like 55 grams of protein straight away. So again, I can't say to you, I take this in the morning, I take this in the evening. There isn't a specific schedule for me really, other than if I'm looking, if I have my dinner and I feel that I'm low on protein, I might have my dinner as normal, have one of these beverages, just mixed with water. Okay, it says 300 mils of water, doesn't matter, mixed to taste. You can also use unsweetened almond milk if you like. I use that a lot. So that's whey protein powder, right? Apparently this stays in the body for about 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours, it'll give you your protein. Boom, done. Now, what about when you go to bed at night? Because they say a lot of muscle building is done. They say, not me, but they say a lot of muscle building is done in the evening times or in sleeping times when your body does all its repairs. So what I do, particularly if I've done a very heavy workout, is I'll take casein from Optimum Nutrition. This is a different form of a protein powder. It's called casein. Weird word. I think basically it's the same type of stuff, right? But this is skimmed from the top of this. I think something like that. So also another tip for you. You know when you open up a cottage cheese and there's like a layer of liquid on the top? We used to just pour that away, right? Well, apparently that's like pure casein. Could be right, could be wrong, but that's what I heard. So I don't throw it away anymore. When I found that out, I was like, no, I'm not going to throw that away. So this stuff, again, scoop. I don't have much left here, but scoop, there you go. Now, this stuff stays in your system longer. Apparently 5-6 hours it stays in your system, which is why it's good to take it when you go to bed. So it sits in your belly longer, apparently. Again, I'm not telling you this is fact, it's just how I've come to understand it. Now, every time before I go and work out, I've said this a lot of times, but in the mornings, I typically go to the gym in the mornings, but sometimes I go in the evenings. Now, regardless whether I go in the mornings or the evenings, I always take one thing before I leave to the gym, and that's this. Now, you might know this as Barocca, but I use the Boots version, which is called Re-Energize. Just drop it in a glass of water. This amount of water, actually. This is the size of glass. I would just put it one of these kind of half-pint glasses, just one of these. Drink it down, and by the time I get to the gym, I'm feeling it. Now, if I had a thing called creatine, I'd have taken a spoon of that too. But I've been out of it for quite a while, so I just keep meaning to water it, and I haven't done it yet. So one of these, and then I would drink it down, head to the gym. By the time I get there, I would be probably feeling the effects of it. Okay, now I know a few people were talking about carb killers, all right, and grenades, grenade carb killer, the bars. So as regards bars, I just want to show you what I always have. So I would always have at least one of these a day. Not particularly the flavor, but I would have one of these bars. So it would either be a full fill. Well, at the moment now I've got two boxes. I've got the lemon and I've got the orange. So each bar is about 200 calories. And they have over 20 grams or 20 grams of protein in each bar. So I'd have at least one of these a day. And less than 3 grams of sugar. Some do vary in calories. My favorite, is it my favorite? Probably is. I like the peanut one. I think that's like 190 calories, whereas this one is, I think, 213, something like that, over 200 anyway. So that's what I have bar-wise. That's what I have for a bar. Now, I don't take these as much anymore, but every now and again I would. But at the start of my weight loss process, I was taking these, 2 of these a day. Okay, you're thinking, what the heck is that? So this is from a company called Grenade. They're called Thermo Grenades. They're apparently fat burners. Do they work? I don't know. All I know is I was taking them whilst I was burning fat. Okay, now I'm not going to say that 2 of these little green things will what made me lose my fat. No, I know that how I lost my fat was calorie deficit and working out. Did these help? Maybe. Maybe they just gave me the extra push or the extra, because I think there's caffeine in them. Maybe it just gave me the extra kick to work out that little bit harder. Who knows? I don't know, but I was taking them. So they're expensive though. They're like, I think they're about 30, 35 euro for 100. So I mean, but when you buy this stuff, you don't have to keep buying it every week. It's like this will last, this could last 2-3 months, depending on how you take it. You might only want to take one a day. So there's that for fat burning, which I would, don't take it on an empty stomach because it's really heavy actually. Or if you do, maybe it doesn't affect you, but it affected me. It was quite heavy on the stomach. So just for me, I'd have something to eat and I'd pop 2. Then I have just a generic multivitamin plus iron from Tesco. Okay, just take one a day, either in the morning or the evening. I'm not too fussed when I take it, as long as I remember. Just take it. This is only I think €1 or 150. Most of you know the brand, Tesco, not expensive. Now, there's a couple of other bits here. One of them I was taking all the time, another one not so much, but I always took this, right? I got this from Holland & Barrett. Lipoic acid. I don't know specifically why I was taking it. I think it was something to do with muscle recovery or something, because it doesn't really say. I can't remember why I was taking it. I haven't really Googled it to figure it out. But I just took one a day. They're expensive. I think they were like 16 euro for that. But Holland & Barrett, good old Holland & Barrett doing their buy one, get one for a penny. So, and you could mix and match. So I got this. Not that big. So looks bigger actually than what it is, but a centimeter and a half maybe. And a B complex and B12. The only reason why I started taking this is because when I was in Holland & Barrett buying these, it was, hey, get this ready like 150. So I picked that up as well. Now, every now and again, if I do a heavy leg workout, it's mainly only legs that I would take this, but why do I take it? I read something somewhere. Now, this won't burn fat, but for those of you that are just starting in the gym, you probably know the pain I'm talking about, that leg pain where you can't sit in the toilet, you can't put on your trousers, you can't turn over in the bed, that type of pain. So actually, is anyone experiencing that pain yet? If you are, just put yes there. I'd love to know, because we've all been there. Those that have been through the process, we know how bloody sore it can get. So what I take for that leg pain, and I don't know if it works. You can even hear there's still quite a lot left. That shows how often I'm really taking it. Ah, yes, at least half. L-glutamine. Okay, 500 ml. I got this on Amazon. L-glutamine. In fact, for those of you that are in the group, if you look across on the right, there should be a file section. Epsom salts with leg pain. We all know that pain. We all know that pain. Me and my wife would laugh a lot about the pain. Yeah. So I can't tell you that this won't stop the pain. I know that. I know that much. And the Epsom salts, it might give you a temporary relief just for while you're sitting in the bath, but anything helps, right? Anything helps. In fact, I've taken painkillers before because it got so bad. So got to do what you got to do. That's just the reality of it. So it's pain that we all have to go through, but it shows that you're pushing yourself, you know. Now, also, I do take these. These are actually, yeah, very good point. Thanks for saying that, Emma. Emma says magnesium for leg pain. That's right, forgot to say. Now, I don't have it, but magnesium is supposed to be very good. Hi, Jason. Let me just see your message. Okay, Jason says the L-glutamine powder definitely helped with his leg pain recovery. That's great. Okay, so maybe there is something to this stuff then, right? So most of you know probably that the legs are the biggest muscles in the body. You can burn the most calories from working your legs and so on. And that's why people maybe end up overdoing it with their legs, thinking that. But it's true, I suppose. But for me, it's not going to stop the pain, but I'm sure it does help somehow. L-glutamine. And of course, an Epsom salts bath. Why not? Oh yeah, now as I was saying, this is omega-3. These are beasts of pills. My God, these are big. These are big fellas. So this is, I think this is 1,000 milligrams, is it? All right, so the serving suggestion is 2 of these. Okay, now I've taken these already today, but 2 of these, and that's 2,000 milligrams. Now, that's a lot, apparently, but I've been taking that for a long time. You know, sometimes they say it's supposed to help mental clarity. I don't know. I feel sharp. Maybe that's just because I don't eat as much crap as I used to eat. But for me, I don't really want to change anything that's worked or helped me along the way. So I still take these. In fact, again, on Amazon, there was a 2-for-1 offer. When I got this, they were, I think it was £8.99, something like that. But you can get these anywhere. You all know you can get omega-3 if you get it in your diet. Then if your diet is well balanced, which mine kind of was, but I guess I just doubled down on everything just to make sure, then I guess you don't need to worry too much about are you getting enough. And every now and again, I'll pop one of these fellas. Just a multivitamin, orange flavor, food supplement with sweeteners, 1 a day. So every now and again, I'll take one of them too. Now, the beautiful thing about all of these is they're either 0 or very low calories. I know that 2 of these is 20 calories, 0 calories, 0 calories. All of this is 0 calories. The only things that are calories, 120 calories each, are these big beasts. So you do have to log all them if you're tracking your calories. Now, any more questions on supplements? Because we can address it now. If not, I want to talk just briefly. Simon was asking earlier about pull-ups, and I'll just quickly go through how I progressed with pull-ups. So if there is a question, go ahead and post it. If not, I'll circle back to it. So pull-ups, right? For some reason, men, we love doing them, or we love trying to do them, or we love the idea of them. Well, at least I know I did. And the gym I go to, I see a lot of guys doing it, or trying to do it, or making attempts to progress. So when I started doing them, I started doing them like a lot of guys would. Now, I can only relate to guys because I am a guy, so... but I'm sure girls will probably do it the same way, but we do it with our arms like that, right? Like it's a pull-up. So that's a chin-up. That's not a pull-up, that's a chin-up. So you're using your biceps to pull up. So you're using basically your arms to pull yourself up into a pull-up, but it's actually a chin-up. But if you do one slight variation and go from here, okay, which is the bar, and you're pulling yourself up. You go from here, just turn your hands. Now, for me, I do this because I can now, but at the start, you just kind of shoulder width apart and pull up. Pull, not chin up, but pull up. And what you're doing is, if you look at my back, you're actually working the whole entire back, all of this stuff here, to pull you up. Okay? Now, if you look at my, look back on some of my photos, you'll see that I've got a cover photo of me doing a pull-up. Right? So those muscles definitions all came from doing pull-ups. All I do really for my back is pull-ups. Honest to God, that's what I do. Now, how do you get started with that? So what I did was simple. I had a resistance band. So just one of these, you see them in the gyms all the time. You can buy them online. Just it's kind of a stretchy band. And I just had it from one end of the pull-up machine to the other, and I just stood on it, and I just let that take the bulk of my weight. Right? So I'm doing pull-ups, and I'm letting the letting the elastic band or the rubber band do most of the heavy lifting. Some gyms will have a thing called a pull-up assisted pull-up machine where you would kneel on it and you would do the same thing. So for the gym I was in, they didn't have one at the time, so I used the rubber band. Now, what you start to do then is you start to say, right, well, the rubber band is X thick, right? The thicker the band, the less effort you have to do and the more work the band does. So then you just kind of go from the thick band to a thinner band to a thinner band. So now you're using more of your own strength to pull yourself up. Then when you finish with the band, you now use your own strength to pull yourself up. Now, that took me going from the thick band to pulling myself up, I think about 3.5 to 4 weeks. And I was doing that every time I went to the gym. So at least 3 times a week, I was making sure I spent a bit of time working on my pull-ups. Push-ups. Okay, I'll talk about push-ups as well. But with the band, so just to say, so you start a thicker band and it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. They should have them in the gym. And then I stopped doing that. I put on ankle weights. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you even have a set of these ankle weights at home. To put them on my feet and started pulling up 2.5 kilos, and then it was like one and a quarter, so 2.5 kilos worth of ankle weights. And then I stopped that and I put on a 5 kilogram plate. And then right now, my maximum one wide arm. Now, when I say wide arm, I mean like I'm not here. I do as wide as I can get, just because it gives me a bigger range of my back. So I'm working more of my back. So the heaviest I've done now, I did it about 3 weeks ago maybe, was 55 kgs. Okay, 1 rep. Now I weigh 64 kgs, so I was 9 kilos shy of my own body weight on a pull-up. So I'm very happy with that. But I wouldn't, right now, I wouldn't bother now doing that anymore. I'll stick to a set of, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 pull-ups at 40 kgs, drop it down to 30, 25, 20. So I taper, start heavy, taper down until I get to 10, and maybe I'm only just using my body weight by the 10th one. Now, push-ups, how did you start with push-ups? So I'm trying to think back. I never really had difficulty with push-ups in general. I don't know why, but it was never an issue. But I know you can start doing push-ups by going on your knees. So kneeling down rather than having your feet in the push-up position. So put your knees on the floor and then start, just that way and build up your muscle strength. I mean, this is all in the chest, right? So that's where you're getting your strength from. Now, what I do now, though, when I do push-ups maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Actually, 3 times a week. And what I do now is I just I have so there's a bar in the gym, a weightlifting bar, and it's probably about waist height or just a little bit lower, and I just lean into it, so as if I was doing this, right? So I lean in. So I'm almost 45 degrees, so I'm not actually quite on the floor. But I do it a little bit differently. What I do is I get a rubber band and I put it around my shoulders. So it's like I'm wearing a jacket, but I'm wearing a rubber band. So now I have one end of the rubber band in one hand and the other in the other. Hold on to the bar, and then I do a push-up. So I'm making my push-ups even harder. Do you see what I mean? I'm using the band to hold me. I'm using the band to push against it and down and push against it. So it actually makes it a lot harder. So I get more out of it. So it's just a little hack I thought about where I wanted to get more squeeze out of my push-up rather than doing just a normal push-up. Now, some people wear a weighted vest, which you can buy. I saw Tesco selling them not too long ago. Heavy things to be carrying around as well. You don't want to be leaving them sitting in the gym when you're going off doing other bits. So the rubber band works really well. Just make sure, because the problem with the bands is it can snag on your back. And it can be quite painful. And you could get all marks and stuff on your back. So just be careful if you do decide that. So Simon, if you're looking to develop your push-ups and you can't do any right now, then I would suggest starting with going on your knees and just going on the floor and just building up a bit of momentum and getting some strength in your upper body to help you do that. So I do a lot of dips as well, which, pull-ups, dips and push-ups, they're kind of all body weight stuff. And dips can be done with a rubber band, with elastic band as well. So don't be afraid of trying any of these moves, because there is equipment to help assist you. Most people will use an assistance to do this. So don't be embarrassed or worry will people be looking at you when you're doing it. No one does, so don't worry about it. And if they do look at you, it's only if they're thinking when you're going to get off the machine. They don't care if your form is bad or if it's good or whether you're doing 10 kilos or 100 kilos. No one cares. All they care about is, I want to use that machine. When is this guy finished? So the main thing is, with a lot of you, I don't know what a lot of your journey is or where this wants to bring you. Do you want to lose weight? Some people want to put on weight. Some of you are already in great shape and you just want to see what this challenge is all about. That's cool too. So for me, all I can say is, if you're looking to lose weight, work out and get shape, how I did it was calorie deficit. Started working 3 days a week, doing a workout that I enjoyed, not a workout that was given to me that I had no interest or say in. Go prepared, have an idea. Go Google a celebrity you like their body shape and find out what their workout is, if that's what you like. If you like the Brad Pitt Fight Club look, go see what workout he did. Remember though, the workout will give you the shape. It'll give you the sculpt of your body, the muscle definition, but it's actually the food and the way you eat that will bring in the definition. Like abs, you've probably heard it, abs are made in the kitchen. Yeah, we've all heard it. But the reality is, abs come when your body fat goes below a certain level, when they can be revealed. And for me, I think it was around 8.6, 9% when mine came in, and then as it got lower, they come in more. But it's got to be practical as well. I mean, where do you draw the line? 7, 6, 5, 4. It's just an ordinary guy, man. This just sit at the desk for 12, 14 hours a day. So this has to fit with my lifestyle. Anyway, we're coming up to half an hour now, so I'm going to wrap it up unless there's any more questions. If not, we'll call it quits. If you are watching this again and any questions come up regarding supplements, what I take, again, I'm not advising you or telling you what to take. I'm not qualified. I hate even having to say that, but it is what it. I hate that I don't have the qualifications. I hate having to make a disclaimer every time, just in case anyone says, "Oh, yes, I'm still here." Great. Sorry, it was just a messenger call coming through. So if you do have any questions, I'll just give you my experience and just tell you how I'm doing stuff, and we'll take it from there. But other than that, thank you for your time this evening. Welcome all you new members. Welcome current members. I know a lot of you are still losing a lot of weight, which is great. A lot of you are getting tighter notches on your belts. Simon asked, how many reps do I do for each exercise? Okay, so Mondays and Fridays, I do 3 sets of 10 reps of my workout. Mondays and Fridays is the same workout. Every other day, I do 4 sets of 10. Every day I do typically 4 sets of 10. And what I do is I do it fast enough that I do get the intensity high, so that by the time I don't take a break between each set. I just boom, 10, go, next one, 10, go, next one, 10, go. Keep going. And then at the end, I'll take my minute and a half or something. My workouts are quick. I don't go to the gym to hang out. I go to the gym to use the equipment and go. Literally in 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes tops, and I'm done. And that suits me perfect. So the only thing that really holds me up at the end now is I've started to try and beat myself by doing a plank. So the other day I did a 6-minute plank. It was 2 minutes on my front, 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other side, and then another 2 minutes on the front without touching the ground. So for me, that's kind of my being my bonnet now. I've got to see, can I beat myself with that? Right, anyway, guys and girls, thank you so much for your time this evening. And any questions, just drop it onto the under the video here, or of course tag me in a post and I'll see it when I see it. And I do see them, just obviously if I'm sleeping or whatever. But other than that, have a good evening and talk to you all soon. Bye bye.